Now, I was testing a lens the other day and I thought to myself what we should do is do a film at the same time. So I've got together a girl that I know to be the model, and we're going to do sort of something a bit of fun. But I thought at the same time, a lot of you don't have all the pro gear, etc. So I'm going to do this shot without a flash meter, using just the histogram and the vision in the back of the camera, the screen, LCD screen, to get the right exposure, without any flash triggers, and one expensive flash, off-camera flash, and a very cheap off-camera flash that I found for nothing somewhere. So let's get it on, I'll show you. Now, I've been lucky enough to find this old barn, belongs to a neighbour of mine. That's a lovely piece of wood. Now, just if ever you get the chance and you see a bit of wood like that, buy it. It's always useful. And what we're going to do is we're going to go right inside, and I'm going to take some shots on the inside of a girl dressed in a sort of grungy look. So I've just brought over a 580 flash unit for the Canon with a Light softbox on it, just to give me a soft light. Put it there for now. And the other light, sorry, it's a little bit cramped in here. The other light I'm going to shine on the background somewhere. As I said, the other light is just this little flash. It's a Starblitz 200M. Really was for the dustbin, but I picked it up. So it's just to show you that you can pick up gear very, very cheaply. Now, the important thing with this one is it has a slave, and you can see what this is. Slave is written there. Now, what that means is it will go off automatically when another flash goes off. But because it's very cheap, it only goes off at maximum power. It's only got one power setting. But you can see here, this ASA setting that I've got here is now what would be called ISO. So it's now the ISO setting. And 100 ISO at f8, if this flash was 8 feet away, it would be the perfect exposure. But that's the only setting you've got. And it's very handy that this is written. Now, I'm going to be shooting at f8.5, so let's say 7 feet from the background would give us a perfect exposure. So I'm going to use that just to light the background, and when my main light comes off, or goes off, it'll just make this go off automatically. I'm not even going to put it on a stand, I'm just going to sit it on some wood somewhere. This is the sync cable, we're just going to link it with that, so none of this flashy remote stuff. Well, this is a sync lead. It's got two ends. Now, one end fits into the camera and the other end fits into the flash. And when you fire the camera, the flash goes off. So nothing more simple than that. That's the way we used to work before this flashy stuff. Get it, flashy stuff? All these radio triggers, etc. We used to use a cable. Now we're going to start the shoot with the 50mm lens, the Nifty 50. And I'm going to start by testing the background, and for that I do a bit of close-up work because it gets the model a bit more relaxed. She's not worried about moving her legs, etc. So this is the test, and you can see that the extra light I've put on the background is nice and burnt out and causes a very light top to the image, but it's not shining on the bottom. I'll show you where it's placed in a second. The main light is the other flash, the 580, and that again is set manually. I'm using the pillar she's standing next to cause that rather nice shadow down the right hand side of her face. Well, I said I'd show you where that background light is. Have you seen it yet? It's up there. I've just put it on top of the beam. Now if I move it backwards and forwards, the other side of the beam causes the shadow. So you can just put them anywhere you like, really. I'm holding a reflector in place while I'm shooting, so I'm shooting with one arm. I'm just showing you how to do it if you're on your own, and there we go, and that's a nice picture. That's a very nice picture. Well, I thought I'd better point out that behind my head in this next shot you'll see a light. Now that light has absolutely nothing to do with the image. It's only so I can see really what I'm doing and walking about in this rather dark area. The flash is overpowering that totally. And we'll see, oh yeah, that's quite nice. Yeah, good. That's it. Wait.
Probably.
She's becoming confident now, so I can bring the camera back and take some shots of her laughing and joking in positions. She's moving her legs well, moving her arms well, so we're on to what could be quite a good session. Well, this is a bit later on in the session. Now you see here the flash, I've done a still image where the flash goes off, so you can actually see what's happening. You've got a nice shadow in the bottom on the background, and that's because I've adjusted that background light just to give light above at the top. Now it's later in the session, we've added a little metal grill, and it's coming along nicely. Well, here are a couple of shots from that part of the session. Very wide angle lens, this one, and here I just desaturated a little bit just to see. Now we've moved to here, and again you see how I've played with the contrast and the colour, and I think it makes all quite a nice set of images. I think the interesting thing with this is that I've turned off the main light and I'm only using that very cheap flash, which is just sitting down to her left on a piece of wood very near the floor, about let's say about 3 feet up from the floor. Well, here you can see it in a rather bad still frame, but that's exactly where I put it. So now you can see what's possible with the flash that most people would throw away that would cost about £2 in a flea market. Forget, this is only that one flash, using the scale on the back to get the right exposure. Well, they say never work with kids and animals. Well, we thought we'd complicate our lives a bit, but here are a couple of shots with the dog. Again, one in full colour and the other one desaturated, which I quite like. Well, I really enjoyed that. That was good fun. Now, I hope it's given you an idea on how you don't need all this expensive gear to take pictures. You can get away with very cheap equipment if you're willing to put your camera on manual. If you wanted to shoot automatic, you're going to have to spend the money. But anyway, cheers, don't forget to subscribe and see you soon.